go. Oh yeah. Did I send you guys my? No, I did not.
No worries.
Worst start on stream ever.
That's fine. Has it already started?
Yeah, now I started, but there's nobody watching yet because I do. I. I'm sorry. This is the.
Oh,
I.
you had an exciting day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. But. Brain, can you kickstart? That would be nice. Thank you.
That's what we hope for.
Yeah. Just like that would be nice. Brain, can you?
Yeah. Oh,
Onegaishimasu.
I have the same days at work.
Yeah.
And I do taxes, so that.
Oof. Oof.
Imagine doing that.
Yeah.
And your brain just like, what was I doing again? All right. So let me explain this credit for you.
Yeah, just like math.
It's not really math, it's just tax laws.
Taxes equals math. No.
I use it's software, so you don't actually do any math. You just do software. You just plug in the numbers and it does everything for you.
Nice.
It's super easy. It's just got to know what the tax laws are.
Do you know what all the tax laws are?
No, but I know all the ones that pertain to the everyday person in the United States.
Well, I guess that's all you need, don't you?
For now, next year I plan to do small business and focus more on to investment income.
Ah, fancy.
So right now, just normal work and some small business is what I handle. But for the most part, I'm the basic beginnings of a tax pro.
Ah.
Cool.
And it's a seasonal job, so I can do plushies the rest of the year.
Oh, that's nice.
And still have a real job once every once for 3 months a year. So, kind of a mix.
Eh.
I wanted something a little different, and I told my husband I was going to do this, and so I figured I'd keep my promise to him.
Nice.
So, yeah. But it's kind of rough. I'm not used to, because that's my first real job. Because I've been doing plush making for, I think, since 2013, 2012-ish time frame. I kind of forgot the years now.
Whoops.
It all blurs together.
Yeah. And so I've been doing that's my main course of work. But I kind of needed to do something a little different, and taxes were the thing to do. Because I liked numbers, and it's not really, like I said, it's not really math. It's just a lot of putting numbers in. So just typing numbers into the software and then knowing the tax laws.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Huh.
It's an easy job, but it's a little stressful.
How so?
Let's say you get a client and then they paid for everything, and then the return you did got rejected. So now you have to figure out why it got rejected, which fortunately the software will tell you the reason. And sometimes it's because the client has identity theft issues. So then you have to work with the client to figure that out. And other times it's just as simple like there's a typo in the EIN, which is the employer identification number. And you just have to retype it in.
Okay, I see we actually have a viewer. Hi, Mad Munchkins! Thank you for dropping by. Maddie! Maddie. Best Scottish brownie, as far as I know.
Oh, gosh. Do you guys have any other jobs?
Yeah, I work in IT. I'm a software developer.
Ooh,
Oh.
fancy.
Is that a full-time job for you, or do you do plushies full-time?
Oh, yeah, it's full-time. I would much rather do plushies full-time, for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wish I could do again. Kind of just... I'm in a weird stage in life. I don't want to get too dark on stuff, though, so I'm not going to. Unless you want me to get dark.
Well, not necessarily dark, but I think this, like it is a chill and chat, so if it is something you wish to share, then feel free to share. And for answering the job questions, I'm a certified therapist, so
Oh.
you know,
Good.
that's handy.
Oh yeah, that's perfect for my problem. I actually had to go to. I actually had what is that? A grief counselor for a while.
Yeah,
So,
fair.
but it's still a lot. It's still a lot to get through.
Yeah, something that should not be. What's it called? What's it called? Sorry, my English is not always up to date, but something that should never be rushed. It takes the time it needs.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. But I'm not sure how familiar you are with my situation. I think I brought up with Crits. I think that's how you pronounce your name, right?
Yeah, Chris, Crits.
Chris. Oh, okay.
Yeah, people started calling me all like extended names of Chris, so it's just like, aren't nicknames supposed to be shorter? Because
Depends.
like for what I used in the beginning was Chris Blessings or Flitter Chris, which is my pony. But then it was like, let's make it short. Both of them have Chris in it, so let's say Chris. And then people started saying Chrissy, Chrissily, Chris, Critzy, and Kissilis. And I was just like, I'm not Chrysalis! What's up with guys? But
Yeah, with me, it's kind of funny because my name is actually, well, my username, not my real name, is Kiashone.
hmm.
But a lot of English speakers keep thinking it's Kiashone, and it's not. It's literally Kiashone, but people for short just call me Kia. So, if that makes it easier.
Yeah, sorry, it's just Norwegian, and we have a shop from Sweden, which is called IKEA.
Oh yeah, we have that too. We have IKEA.
Yeah, sorry, that one popped into my head. It's just like, so you're the owner of IKEA.
No, I wish. Then I would have to do taxes.
Yeah, exactly. You just have a lot of money, and
A lot of
be
investment
from
money.
yeah, and apparently from Sweden. So hi, neighbor.
I wish, but
Yeah.
I'm stuck in Texas.
Oh,
I live in San Antonio, so it's interesting.
yeah. I actually have an aunt living in Texas. Well, Houston,
Oh.
Texas. Don't know.
Oh, that's about 3.5 hour drive from where I am.
Awesome.
Texas is way too big.
Eh, giant country.
State, but yeah, our country. I think it's about a 3-day drive from California to New York.
Mm.
So it's pretty big.
Yeah. Sorry, my ADHD brain goes to California girls.
Oh,
Brain. Yeah. Well,
fine.
welcome to my ADHD brain. Here we have everything.
Oh, no worries.
Any one of you?
And-
I gotta ask. Any one of you have any similar? Well, except I guess most of us has social anxiety or some kind of like thingy.
Like I don't have social anxiety.
Okay, that's good.
That's why I'm perfectly fine with podcasts. I used to actually stream on Twitch regularly, but I kind of fell out of it after my husband went to Portugal. So
Yeah.
Wow.
yeah, he's Air Force. Well, he was Air Force, I should say. So he spent from May 2019 to May 2020. He was in Portugal in the lodges, which is in the Azore Islands.
Okay.
And when I was streaming regularly before he left, and then after he left, I just kind of lost motivation in doing it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Fair.
And so now I'm still just trying to figure out what I want to do now because he died in a car accident about 9 months ago. So kind of
Oh,
just
yikes.
getting through
Sorry.
that.
Yeah.
So that's the reason I'm doing taxes and other stuff.
Sure.
Just trying to keep things balanced out. I've not fully recovered for
Oh.
working properly.
For sure. Yeah.
For sure.
But I am getting there. I'm trying to get back to making like my commissions aren't fully open at the moment. I only do Etsy commissions, and those are just little tiny things that take maybe a few hours for me to make.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
fair.
sure.
And I have one plushie that I've been trying to work on, but I'm having a hard time working with it just because it brings back memories because I was working on that day.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
fair.
So yeah, once I get past that one, I think I could get back to my normal routine again. But taxes also haven't been helping because I'm I'm a first year
Mm.
and I'm not supposed to be working 40 hours a week. But we
No.
lost one of our tax pros due to COVID,
Oh,
and
yikes.
and on top of that, the other person in the other senior people in the office, most of them don't want to come back in, which I could understand.
Right.
Mm.
And then my boss is also in the hospital right now as we speak. That's
What?
diabetes.
No.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad stuff around here. I'm
Twitch.
not, but so I only have 3 more weeks left of tax season. Then I can focus back on the plush work, and hopefully, I think I have a new what's the word? Understanding of work. I'm trying to think of the word for that. It's It's a work ethic. That's what it is. I have a new
Yeah.
work ethic based because of this job, because it's
Mm.
forced me to work 10-hour days.
Oh, wow. I guess, yeah, right
Uh,
now it's probably crazy.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. I'm just sitting here like, no? How about no? How about you should not do that? No?
Well, I understand why they want me to do that. And I don't work on the weekends, even though they call me on the weekends. So I'm like, no, I don't work on the weekends. I
Okay,
told you why.
okay. Good that you're taking stands. Thank you. I'm relieved. Okay, continue. Super.
I'm not a workaholic, I promise.
Are you sure? Should we call Dr. Wolf and get you on one of those workaholic videos?
Oh, no. I'm fine. I just needed to, I just, I just doing what needs to be done because we are short-staffed at the moment.
Mm.
So I just filling in the gaps when I need them. And yeah, I'm working a little too much for my rank, but that's okay. It's a lot of experience and I still get paid.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So, since we started to get a little people now, I am really curious. How did you guys start making plushies? If sorry
I was
to
wondering
drop
if
that
Fleece
bomb.
wanted to start. Oh, no worries. Did Fleece want to start first?
Oh, sure, I can start.
Okay.
Let's see. I feel like I've been doing it for maybe 5 years now, and I think I got started because I saw, all those amazing pictures of other plush makers online. I was like, wow, those are really cute. I want one, but I don't have the money to afford one. So I just kind of tried one out on my own just for fun, and it turned out horrible, of course, but was a really fun learning experience. So then the next plush that I made afterwards was just miles better from everything that I learned from the first one. And then I just kind of made them for like my little cousins and had so much fun doing it that I kind of just did it all the time.
Aww. That's nice. So, what made you like, okay, I'm gonna do this for other people now? Like, where was that turning point?
I started making a few for like my little cousins, and then I was like, well, I want to make more, but I don't want them all over my apartment. I just don't have space for that many plushies, but I want to keep making them.
What?
And there was like a local right. And then there was like a local fair coming up soon that had like little vendor booths, so I just applied to see if they'd be interested in having me, and they were. So I made a whole bunch of plushies for that for like really cheap because I had no idea what pricing made sense yet, and they did pretty well. And then after that, I started to get a little bit more traffic on like my Etsy site and just kind of started doing them off of orders there.
Okay. So, Kia.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Mine is a little pretty similar. What happened was I liked sewing, and I've been sewing since I was 5. And my great grandmother was the one that taught me, and she used to actually make dresses for movie stars in Hollywood.
Oh, so rarity.
Oh.
Got it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So she taught me how to do sewing at the young age, and I started making my own costumes and cosplays. And I would go to conventions and I'd make my own props. And I went as Fiona from Adventure Time, and I made a Cake the Cat plushie,
No.
and that took off. People were wanting to buy those off of me, so I made it. I already had the Etsy because I think 2 years prior to that, I made octopus hats, and people really liked those. And it's literally
Octopus
just a stuffed
hats!
octopus on a headband with a little top hat on it.
Oh,
Oh my
that's
gosh.
adorable!
And so I was sewing those for a little bit, but then I sold Cake the Cats primarily after that. And then I went to one convention called NakaCon, which is in Kansas City. And at the time, I think it was in Kansas City, Kansas that year. And uh, people were like, "Oh, I would like to buy that." And I made the shop. Oh, I mean, sorry, I made the plushies to sell. But then we had borrowed one of my little brother's friend's cameras, and he saw the photos of my plushies that I've made, and he's like, "Hey, can you make me some ponies?" And I was like, yeah, sure, I can make some ponies." And that's kind of how I got into more pony stuff. I'm not trying to get out of the pony stuff, but I'm trying to get more diversity in my plush making
You can
and
never
branching out
escape the
into.
ponies.
Oh, well, no, I mean, it's not like I want to escape. I just want to have diversity.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
Sorry, trying to make a joke.
oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be too serious.
Dun, 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 dun.
I sometimes I don't like if I don't know people's personalities, I'll do that.
Now, to be honest, I have a really hard time telling when people are serious or sarcastic, or
Sarcastic.
or when they're making a joke. So I'm really bad at it myself, but I'm trying. So yeah, so I would try to be more clear next time, like overdo the voice or something. But
Okay,
continue.
no
Sorry.
problem. And so from there, I just started making plushie after plushie. And then of course I've been making plushie. I think pony plushies. I think were 2013 February timeframe that year. And then I just kept making a lot of those. I did diversify into chibi style human plushies.
Oh.
And now I'm kind of doing a little more small scale knickknacks because that's like the only thing I feel like making are just small projects because the bigger plushies, they take a couple of days to make, as you guys are probably familiar with. And those are exhausting for me right now. They're just mentally exhausting.
Fair.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just making little things that I can finish within a day or maybe 2 days. And that's what I'm doing until I fully get back into the groove of what I was used to.
Yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah. There's one other big issue that I'm having, which is my husband, he did all the Photoshop stuff for me.
Ah.
So so we would do the photos together, and then he'd take the photos and he'd put them on a grid thing with all the other images on them.
Mm.
And then he would put the watermarks, and he'd also do color correction to make sure everything was true to color for what we from the camera.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to do that.
Well, nope.
I know how to take a picture and put a watermark on it, but that's about it.
Well, never too late to learn, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you have to just admit. It's one of those grieving things. So I don't really want to go through too many things at once. So I'm posting, doing that a little sporadically.
Yeah.
Bit by bit, not all at once.
Very true. I myself, I'm not as magically skilled as you two. I'm just doing voice acting and stuff. So I've been trying to learn like sound editing and visual editing. And I'm just looking at notes and programs, and I'm just like, okay, my brain already feels like I'm burning a taco. What's happening? Because,
Okay.
it's just like, how do you do that? And you're just sitting there, and everything starts to dance around in front of you, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
If you have any one of you have ever had anything to do with recording and stuff?
Just a little bit. No, gosh.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't want to get. to my dark past.
Oh, okay. No,
But
that's okay.
I don't know. It's kind of funny.
Okay.
So I guess I'll do it just because it's funny, and I guess it's not like anything anyone will ever be able to look up anyways, or at least I don't think. But long ago, probably in the mid 2000s, uh, my brother, you know when abridged anime was a thing on YouTube, like everyone was really, really into doing that.
Mm.
Well, there was this show that was called Bobobo,
Bobobo?
and that's what it was called. It's an anime. It's a really ridiculous anime, and for some reason, my brother wanted to dub it, and so we
Ah.
actually did a parody version dubbing thing, and so I did a little voice acting from that, but it didn't
Ah.
go anywhere. And I don't really have a good voice for recording anyway, so
What do you mean? You're speaking clearly. You're speaking well. Pronouncing is good.
it's no, it's not that. It's just like I think my voice sounds dull. I guess.
Doll?
Yeah, dull.
Like
I don't know
boring?
how to explain it. Yeah, no, like it doesn't record like it's like there's a bit of too much of a high note to it, and then at the same time there's like an undertone that's a little deep. I don't like it.
Nobody likes their own voice, sweetie.
I guess that's probably.
Yeah, like with me, like I often when I hear myself, I think I sound like a lighter version of Rainbow Dash because I can hear all the gravel in my voice. But when I hear recordings, it's like, okay, who is this Fluttershy imposter? Who are you? I'm just like, that's not my voice. So I think most voice actors can relate, but I can really relate to that.
Yeah.
It's odd. It is. But both of you have quite well balanced OCs.
My pony doesn't have a backstory really.
Mine doesn't either.
No, but
I like the design, but that's
yeah, but like, how did you end up with like? Why did Fleece choose Pegasi? Why did you, Kiashone, choose a unicorn? Like this sort of stuff is also interesting because it tells like part of the history about yourself and how pony fandom has maybe affected you.
Oh, well, the unicorn was because it made sense that it'd be easier for her to sew.
Yeah, see, there you go.
That was the reason I did it.
Yeah, but
Also rarity.
yeah, but she has a Fluttershy-ish mane.
Well, that was just because what happened was I wanted to make a bun tail, and I thought that the swooping looking tail. Well, I made the tail first, and then I made the mane after the tail.
Mm.
So I just wanted her tail to be up in a bun for some reason.
Not fair, not fair.
I thought it was cute, and no one else had done it before. And I'm like, let's do this.
Yeah. So
her hair's not bunned up on her mane just because it makes her look really old. By the way,
I'm not that
Anyways.
old, I swear.
No.
How did you end up with white, blue, and purple?
It's the least used. Well, the build. Okay, purple's my favorite color, and these are the least used colors at the time for Minky, and I wanted to use that Minky fabric for something.
Ah.
Clever.
So it was me just using it because I believe I'm trying to remember what her coat color was. I think it's violet, or I could go just look over at my fabric real quick.
Just
I'm in my office.
excuse me.
Oh yeah, it's violet. She's a violet coat,
Ah, okay.
and it was just the least used color, purple.
Mm.
So just me doing because it was just uncommon.
Yeah, fair. What about you, Fleecy?
Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of felt like I wanted something kind of bright and happy colored. So for some reason that means orange and pink in my brain. And then kind of similar with the wings, I wanted something like uplifting, happy. She can fly, which seems exciting. I don't know, it's kind of just random, just like what feels like a fun OC that makes sense for what I want like my shop to be, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah, like you wanted something that could properly represent the feeling of your shop or your shop itself.
Yeah.
And that's fair. Think you did a good job.
Thanks.
So you both have cutie marks. Let's see. Fleece. I'm gonna make your OC a little bit bigger so we can have a proper look at the cutie mark. Kind of looks like a embroidered sun or flower.
Yeah. So she's kind of named Morning Thread, so that's kind of where the cutie mark came from.
Ah.
Because sewing and then orange, like a sunrise, kind of led to her name. I'm not terribly crazy about it, and she doesn't have a backstory, so I'm not really entirely sure what her name should have been, but that's kind of where it came from.
Okay. Why did you go with that?
This is a very good question. I haven't thought very much about her. Well, the thread came from sewing, and then I was just trying to pick something that kind of made sense. Like, what would a name be in the pony world? What are some of the first parts of names that they have? And Morning just seemed happy, and so I went with it.
Yeah. That's fair. Sure. Yeah, and MeplushYou was supposed to join us, but because of complications, we got too late, and it would be too late for her, so she sadly couldn't join us. But we're having her little OC here, very adorable, in honor. Because adorbs. Okay.
Yeah.
Scumshoe. There is Kiashone.
Hi.
Big. So okay, you have a heart that are on its way to get sewn on.
Yeah. I went with Elegant Applique because that's her name. So I thought it would make sense that since she's a sewing pony, it made sense that her cutie mark was being appliqued on. That's why it's like that.
So, so it's basically both a practical thing and it's a pun.
Yeah.
I love
like
it.
Puns.
Yeah, thank you. Me too.
I do have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
When I'm not dark.
And I'm not dark.
I'm sorry, the last year of my life has been riddled with tragedy. I can't help it.
No, this is very funny.
Yeah. I'm going through it though. I'm getting there.
Yeah, gotta have a cookie now and then. It's gonna be fine.
Well, the cookies.
All the cookies.
I like baking cookies, so. My main two talents is actually I guess 3 talents I have. One is baking, one is mimicry, and then the other is sewing.
Ooh.
Wait, mimicking?
Mimicry, yeah.
What's that?
It's not. It's if you show me how to do anything once, I'll be able to do it.
That's an X-Men power. That's an X-Men power. Like, hello. Can I have some of that?
It's kind of funny because I joke around at the office saying I'm an advanced newbie. Because no one in my office taught me anything what I'm supposed to do in the office. And one of the guys who's been there for like 20 years, he's like, hey, how long have you been with us? And I'm like, I just joined this, last 2 months. And he's like, what did you do a year ago? And I'm like, I was a housewife. And he's like, really? I'm like, yeah. Oh, well, you're doing a good job. That's what he
said. And in his brain, you can hear, I'm impressed.
Yeah. It was funny. He wasn't not expecting that answer. I was like, no. I was literally just a housewife. I mean, I didn't mention I did sewing because I don't need to complicate the answer, but.
Yeah.
A tax job is fun.
Meet a lot of different people, I guess.
Oh, yes. I have met a lot of people.
Why do you sound sad?
Oh, no, their stuff is good, but sometimes you can't help people and it sucks because you can't do your job for free as much as you want to.
Yeah, getting flashbacks from my own job.
Yeah, there's people come into the office thinking that it's free, which is weird because it's a business.
Mm.
And the online software is free, but the in human experience that costs money. So,
Hey.
and it's just there's some things that are like I love helping people because I knowing tax laws, I'm able to help people get more money.
Yay.
And like one of the recent ones, I mean, I don't know, where are you at, please?
I'm in Minnesota.
Okay, so you're United States. Okay, so this might help.
Minnesota.
I don't know, but like, there's a look back rule for EIC, which is earned credit income or income credit. Okay, I'm on the weekend, so I can't remember my credits right. I feel like it's Monday already.
Well, for me
But-
it is.
Oh, that's okay. But yeah, so there's a look back rule for where you could use 2019's earned income and get a higher credit that way, so you get more money. And one person was only getting an $89 refund, but because of that look back rule, I was able to get them a $1,900 refund.
Oh, nice.
So there's some things like that, but there's other tax pros who don't know that, and I have to go into the software and be like, hey, you forgot this.
So, by the way.
Yeah, and they're like, they've been working there for 30 years, and I'm like, it's just it gets set in their ways, so they forget to update with tax laws, or they'll forget about the current ones.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's okay, we do the fixes for free, so yay.
Yay.
Oh, nice.
But I get along pretty well at my office.
That's good.
Yeah, just I like helping people, but sometimes you just meet some people that are like, okay, well, let's hurry up and get your taxes done.
Yeah, because
They
you
make
are
me
strange.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But I've not found anyone I don't like.
So, if you guys were not gonna make plushies in the fandom, would you have done anything else?
For the fandom or just work in general?
Both.
Probably with the ponies, I don't really do too much stuff besides plush making. I do a little art, but not too much. So I probably wouldn't have done anything if I didn't have any sewing skills.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, I mean, I like the idea of drawing, but I definitely don't draw or know how to even get started to like draw digitally. So I don't. Yeah, if there weren't plushies, I don't know if I would have participated very much.
Okay. It's kind of nice how people find their niche or their thing to do, and then they have a lot more fun in the communities. Have you people noticed that?
Definitely.
Well, I don't get to be part of the community too much. I kind of distance myself when my work. I just usually just make the ponies and talk to the clients.
Ah, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
This is probably the closest in conventions that I've ever done to be part of the community. I used to be part of a Facebook group that we'd have meetings and such, but I moved away from that area, so I can't do it anymore.
No.
Yeah. It's sad because I liked making the cupcakes and I would put ponies on the cupcakes.
No.
I would make applejack pie and I would cut applejack out on the pie crust.
Cool.
Cute.
It would be for Thanksgiving, and I do that. The Thanksgiving brony dinner is what I called it.
Aw, I like that a lot.
It was a fun thing to do. I really miss the Baltimore bronies.
No.
I moved.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here like. So you say you wouldn't do anything if it wasn't for like your associates. I'm sitting here like, girl, you're a brownie chef.
Well, I mean,
Or baker.
I mean, I would do little party things, but that, like anything else, like online and stuff, wouldn't really be. It'd just mostly be local.
Yeah, I don't mean like you don't need to sell bakery online. It was more like you could sell it maybe on cons or You could like, I don't know, write a cookbook. People eat pony stuff by the ton if they can. Like I've seen Hasbro has put out 1 or 2 cooking like cake books or cooking books, and they're very, very, very standardized. And like,
sure, yeah.
if somebody made like a proper cooking book with pony themed, that was some were maybe a little bit complex and some were easy, I think people would be very happy about that. Like you have Fallout cookbooks, you have The Witcher cookbook, you have like Lord of the Rings cookbook, Harry Potter cookbooks. People like that stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do a themed cookbook because I kind of like keeping my recipes secret.
Yeah, fair.
A lot of them, like, especially the baking, because my mom's a pastry chef.
Ah,
and so
there
I
you
got a
go.
lot of stuff from her. And there are a lot of family secrets recipes.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so was it an aunt that was sewing for, uh, you know,
Are you talking about my great grandmother?
great grandmother? That was what it was. Sorry. Okay, so you have
Yeah.
grandmother that makes stuff for famous people. Your mother is a pastry chef. Like, what else is in your family? Because you sound like you have a foot inside every corner of the world.
My uncle is a ghost hunter.
Oh, cool.
Seriously? Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So, do you
know.
have any
So,
spiritual
like,
powers?
okay. No. But it's okay. So I know I have a lot of stuff because I know it sounds weird. So what happens is this is what happens when your family comes from Hollywood back in the early turn of the century era. So went back when it was blooming. So like my grandpa on my dad's side, he was a painter and he would paint for carnivals, and he'd also paint like the carousel horses,
Aww.
and
Oh,
he'd do signs for MGM Studio. Well, while he was doing signs for MGM Studio, he ended up doing backdrops, and he painted the Wizard of Oz's backdrops.
wow.
Yeah. So my family has a lot of history in the last 100 years.
That's so cool.
And so that's something on my dad's side, and then of course his brother is the ghost hunter, and I still don't know if he's telling the truth or not, but I can't prove him otherwise.
Dun dun dun.
But then on my mom's side, that's where my great grandmother, because my grandma didn't do anything. My grandma had no talents.
Aww.
She was the black sheep. So great grandma, she could cook, she can sew, she could do it all. Then grandma, she didn't know anything. She I think it's because she just liked reading, so she just read a lot.
Yeah, okay.
And then my mom was a pastry chef, and she could also sew, but she didn't teach me the sewing because that wasn't her passion. Her passion was cooking. My great grandma's passion was sewing. And then so for me, I ended up doing cooking and sewing because I learned from both of them, and that's where I am now.
What about you, Fleece? Any interesting in your family?
No, definitely not as exciting as ghost hunters or backdrop painters.
Yeah, but how can you top that?
I'm
Right.
sorry. I should've gone last.
No, it was awesome.
Let's see. My dad's dad worked on railroad trains.
Ooh,
and I remember he
cool.
had a really cool like model train in his basement.
Toot toot.
Yeah, and then my mom's dad was an electrician, and I remember he worked on particularly a famous Dave's restaurant in uptown Minneapolis that like at like some points like every like hour or something it sounds like a train's going through the building and a bunch of things shake or something. That's kind of fun, but nothing exciting in my history.
I like the railroad were a big thing back in the day, so I still think that's cool. So no worries there.
Yeah.
Well, it was definitely needed to be done to progress.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I think before when they moved to Hollywood with my dad's family, they just kind of moved around because they came from Ireland initially. Then they went to Maine, and then they went to Canada, then they went to Maine, then they went to Canada, and then they went back to Maine.
Is it like, guys, decide
They
already?
couldn't decide. And then they went to Wyoming, and they were like, man, it's cold here. And somebody went to LA and was like, hey, it's really warm over there. And they're like, hey, let's move to LA. And that's what happened. They didn't like the cold anymore.
I can't blame them. I hate the cold.
Yeah.
But
Don't
and then
come
my
to
mom's
Norway.
side of the family, they just went to LA because during the Great Depression, they were trying to find money, and they just went that way just to make money.
Sure.
Fair. Very fair. That's how you survive.
Exactly. And they did pretty well for themselves. I think on both sides, they did pretty well for themselves in the end.
Yeah.
So.
Sadly, I don't have any interesting on my side either. Farmers. One uncle that works in the oil. One is a teacher, and my father is kind of farmer / owning a big flower shop type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cute.
So we have sheeps and a lot of different plants. And so yeah, around it is around now we can start to expect baby sheep. So I will soon be on lambing duty.
Oh, cute.
Oh.
Yeah. So if anybody finds my Instagram, it might be baby sheeps popping up there.
Ooh.
Well,
Yeah, I'm interested in farming. Today I was doing gardening. The closest thing I could get to a farm within. I live in a weird area because I live in a city. But I live on the outskirts of a city where it's still suburbia, but it's actually farm area. But it's going to be completely suburbia in a few years because it's just growing. So I technically live in the countryside without living in the countryside. So the closest thing I have is this garden that I'm working on.
Yeah. Like I want to live in the country, but not all the way to the country.
Well, that's kind of how it feels like right now. It's 12 minutes to get to anything for my house.
Okay.
That's not too bad.
But I still, I have neighbors on either side, like regular in the city living.
Yeah.
So it's kind of sucks, and I still pay property tax like if I live in the city.
Ofta.
Oh, sure.
And Texas doesn't have state taxes, or we don't do state returns. So our property tax is just really expensive.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So it's nice because it's less work on the tax preparer and less work it's a job that we don't need, but it just makes it harder for the people who have to pay property tax.
Yeah.
We actually have a question in chat. Noah 123012. Question for all of you. What is your favorite Princess Trixie Sparkle and Remembrance song? What? Trixie Sparkle?
I'm not sure.
Is that some
I'm
kind
a little...
That's a fandom musician? I have no idea.
Maybe, or it's a fan fiction, maybe?
I'm not sure. Unfortunately, I've kind of fallen out of the fandom in the past year, but that's due to a lot of things related to what happened with my husband.
Yeah, like you have no need to give excuses. It's fair.
Yeah.
We have another one. What?
Yeah.
No, you first.
I was just gonna. I never really got into the Brony music scene. I mean, like, I like hearing it sometimes when, like, you're at a convention and like someone's playing it, but I never like know who anybody is or what a song is called.
It can be hard to learn names and stuff unless you get really into it, so that's fair. I just recently got properly into it when I don't know, gotten curious about how they do it and like the technical parts of it. So I also have been lucky enough to have a couple of Brownie musicians on my streams. So learned a lot from there, and like Prince Whatever, Melody Brownie, and others. They're really, really awesome people. And
Very cool.
Prince Whatever. I can't pronounce his name correctly. He is often streaming on Twitch, so recommend looking him up. It's a lot of fun watching and listening, of course. We have a question again. Snowy motorcycle. Question for all. What do you English? Yeah. Question for all. What is your think about Sakura? Okay, what do you think about Sakura and Fluttershy? If you guys still, I don't know how long is it since? Did you guys finish all 9 seasons?
I believe so. It feels like forever ago, though.
Fair.
Yeah.
Let's see. Now, I don't know if the question is it a ship question or is it a just what we thought about like plushing those 2 characters?
I think it's just general what you think about the characters themselves.
Well, Fluttershy is easy to make as a plushie. She's not too hard, but Sakura, any zebra OC, and my husband's OC is a zebra, so I've made plenty of zebras. Oh my gosh!
I've made Sakura maybe twice in my whole plushie career, and it's definitely a time sink. All those stripes.
Yeah. But I get like Sakura is my favorite character in the whole darn show. So I had a plushie, but right now that one is on its way to a friend of mine, actually, because moving. So I had to cut down on stuff I own. So then it's better that the plushie goes to somebody who will take care of it and love it instead of me. Yeah.
She is a really cool character. I like her like rhyming thing that they do with her. It would have been nice to see more of her throughout the years, but you know, I'm sure that's a challenge.
Yeah, but if you've seen season 10 in the comics, which is supposed to be canon, you get to see Sakura's homeland.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and then you get to learn why she talks in rhyme.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I can recommend looking on that.
If I have time. Man, I feel like I haven't had time in what feels like forever, but I know it's only been since January.
Yeah.
I swear, taxes drain a whole year of your life out of you.
Oh, yeah.
But I love it. I really need to get back. Like, I have 3 more weeks left, and then I could just focus on everything again.
Yay!
Yeah. I'm sure once everything slows down, you'll be like, all right, what am I gonna do with all my time now?
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do with my time now.
Plushies!
Yeah, I am gonna try to just go full throttle with it and just get back into everything. Because it is time for me to keep moving. And I really do like sewing a lot.
It's so cathartic.
I don't know if it means it's relaxing. It's in sync with rhythm. I don't know if I've ever found it relaxing so much as I just enjoy doing it.
Sure.
Well, are you relaxed when you do it? Are you relaxed when you do so? Or does it like make you excited, or does it stress you?
For me, I'm excited to make the product to see what it becomes. Not so much. It's not the action of doing it that I enjoy. It's the product when it's done is what I like about it.
Okay.
Sure. For me, I kind of experience a variety of things at different steps of the project, if that makes sense. Like sewing the body, I find relaxing because that's like the same thing every time for the most part. I mean, some plushies have like different markings, so they get a little bit more variety. But like, if it's just a pink body, I can just kind of veg out and let my brain kind of quiet down and just do what I've done a million times. But then I also get really excited trying to figure out like a new character, figuring out the pattern for their mane, or like OCs I really like doing because I know there'll be something special for someone that they can't get elsewhere, you know. So.
Yeah, that's the thing. Fleecy, if I remember correctly, you're the one who is, or was it? I think it was one of you who are making one of the Pegasi soldiers from Generation 5.
Oh,
That's
yep,
not
that's
me.
me.
Yeah, Fleecy. Okay, super. How is that going? I'm like Silver Quill and many others have shown interest in it, so really excited.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never made a life-size pony before, so I'm definitely nervous about it. I'm still in the prototype phase where I'm just making him at a small scale, which is manageable and fun. And as soon as I finish making his ears, then I'm going to try scaling him up and start sewing together a giant body. So I just hope it turns out like you can plan and plan and plan, I guess, but it's you don't know until you start doing it, right?
Yeah. So it's definitely a good experience. But are you guys
Yeah.
gonna try making Generation 5 ponies, or are you gonna think you're trying to stay at Generation 4?
With me, I've not really looked into it. Like, I can't remember. I kind of fallen out a little, so I've not looked into it yet. But I noticed, from what I remember, they kind of have a look to Generation 4, but they're 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've only glanced at it a little bit, because, like, again, I just been busy. But I might adapt the pattern. But at the same time, I don't really see too much of a need to change it.
Yeah, it's still a horse, right?
Well, it's pretty close already, and I mean, our plushies are already 3D, so there will be
Yeah.
a little bit of changes.
But that's the thing. When you guys get OC commissions, how often do people actually have proper reference sheets for you guys?
Pretty often for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say it's every once in a while they don't have a good reference, but definitely most of the time they do, which is so helpful. Like the times they don't have one, you kind of have to ask a lot of questions, or like I sometimes have to sketch out what I think they mean and be like, is this what you're talking about? And try and figure it out that way. But nothing beats a good reference.
You hear that, guys? Get reference sheets. Personally, I can recommend Lightning Bliss's reference sheets. You get a lot of angles. You can see on the back of the head of the pony. You can see different facial expressions. You get all the color patterns. You get proper OC photo. It's very, very nice. Yes. Because
Yeah, I think I initially drew mine.
Oh.
It's been so long. I know I originally drew Elegant, and it was just a sketch on a piece of paper, and then I just kind of crafted it more and more as I was trying to just get her personality and right. Like she doesn't really have a backstory, but she does have a personality. So that's like which is really funny because my husband's OC. He actually has a backstory to it.
Oh.
And I don't remember it because he only told it to me once.
Oh.
Because he was trying to explain to me why he had a zebra unicorn.
Zebra unicorn. Interesting.
Yeah. I'm like, why is it a zebra unicorn?
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a reason for it. I can't remember what it is. I wish I could
Oh,
remember.
maybe he's a Sonny.
I don't know.
Zebra pony. Zebra pony. Like he's half pony, half zebra?
Well, no, it was some sort of curse thing.
Ah, okay.
Like he got like a, what is it? A grimoire? And that cursed him.
Ah.
Ooh,
My husband was a
spooky.
little dark with his OC. Well, I'm a little dark with my OCs, but not with my pony OC.
Fair.
I'm kind of changing my mascot too from Elegant Applique to a dragon.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
But I like, it's what's the word? It's a dragon that has dragon parts but looks human. Not anthro. It's shoot. I don't remember the word for that.
Is it like Final Fantasy type of dragonish? 14,
No.
Final Fantasy 14, where you could be something that was like Dragon Snow or something.
Oh,
where
maybe a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you have the dragon tail, but it's a human frame and like horns and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
So basically, like I said, they had the tail, they had horns, and they had some places they had like scales on their body or on their face. But other than that, they were completely human.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And I'm switching over just because I'm trying to be more diverse. So dragons, everyone loves dragons. Who doesn't love dragons? And I mean, he's a Cupid dragon mix, so he's adorable.
Aww.
But he's my new mascot, and I should have given you a picture of him,
Yeah.
but I didn't know if it would fit the pony theme or not. So I was like, I'll just give you elegant.
Yeah, like I do prefer to have pony OCs because they're easier to put in the frame. But if you have other OCs and we start talking about them in the stream, then feel free to shoot a picture and I can put it on screen for a while we talk about
I
it.
can throw him in.
Yee!
I'll just throw a cute picture in.
Yay!
Let me just find one. Let's see. But yeah, he's my new mascot. I need to get business cards with him on it,
Mm.
and I'll tell you his name once I get done.
Yeah, that's the thing. Business cards, aren't they like
Yeah.
super expensive?
Not really. They're like 5
Yeah,
cents
they're
a piece. You just have to buy them in bulk.
Ah.
Yeah. I feel like every time I buy them in bulk, though, I change my mind shortly after on what I want my business card to be, so I have to buy them again.
Isn't that irony?
I have 5 different variations of business cards because I try to get a new one every year, and I always end up buying 500 because that's the cheapest way to buy them is a pack of 500. But you
Mhm.
never use 500 in a year.
No.
And when I went to BronyCon, because I've ended at BronyCon from 2015 to 2019, and the 2019 year I didn't bring any extra cards,
Oops.
and I assumed that I needed more business cards with me at that con that year. But I mean, in the past it wasn't a big deal because I was living in the Baltimore area, so I just go home every night. But the 2019 year, that was the year I moved to Texas, so I actually had to fly out to the con that used to be local to me. It's kind of a strange feeling. It's like, hey, this is where I used to live,
Yeah.
but
That
I
would
don't
be-
live here anymore. So
That would be surreal.
it's really weird. Like you get like I went to Joann's Fabrics while I was visiting,
Huh?
and I'm like I stepped outside, looked around for my car. I'm like, oh right, I don't live here anymore. My car is back in Texas. I've flown here, and I took an
Okay.
Uber. It was just so weird because it was an area I would drive all the time, but because
Right.
I moved, it's just so odd. Um, yeah, I do like living in Baltimore area. I just kind of, Air Force, they move you around where they need you, and that's where he needed to be, and it just, yeah, it's just where I'm gonna stay. Because I thought about moving back there, but it's even more costly to live in Maryland than it does to
Oh.
live in Texas. So I'm just gonna stay here.
Texas warmer at least?
Oh, it is the safest place from weather I have ever seen.
Really?
I'm from Missouri, so I'm used to cold and snow and ice and
Mhm.
stuff. I was born in the middle of an ice storm, matter of fact.
Ah,
That's
fancy.
nice.
And so I'm used to all that. And in Maryland, the weather's a little bit warmer just because it has a coastline. And it doesn't get as
Sure.
much tornadoes, though, as Missouri did. But you did have a risk of a hurricane every now and then. But when I moved to Texas, because I'm so far inland, I don't have to worry about hurricanes. I don't have to worry about it snowing very often. We did have the freak one, the winter cold snap we had. That happens. But
yeah.
that's so rare and sporadic that it's not a big deal. And it did melt. Well, to be fair, it did last a full week here. But to me, it wasn't that big a deal because I was used to this type of, weather.
Right.
But the other Texans were freaking out about it because
Oh,
they've not seen
sure.
this much snow in a while. And so that once again, that's just a freak thing that happens every now and then. But for the most part, we don't get snow, we don't get ice, we don't really have tornadoes this far down below Austin. It seems to be pretty safe from tornadoes. We do get them; they're just sporadic, like I said. And then, of course, I can't get hurricanes here, and I don't see any earthquakes going on in this area. And I'm like, you know what? This place is pretty safe from natural disaster. I might as well just stay here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's how come I didn't move back. Well, 2 reasons: weather and prices, the cost.
Yeah.
I also had just bought a house 2 weeks before the 2 months before the accident.
Oh,
So that doesn't
Yeah.
help.
no.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty stuck here, is what I said.
Yeah,
Wait.
I hate moving. It's just so much effort to get everything into a new place and transporting it back and forth. Ugh, no thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if I had moved twice at that time, I had moved twice within a year's time frame. And if I had decided to move again, that would have been a third time within a year and a half time frame. And I'm not moving anytime
No,
soon.
I'm done.
Yeah, there was just no, and I didn't know where else I was gonna go because Missouri, I don't want to go back to Tornado Alley.
Yeah.
And like I said, Maryland, it's a little too pricey. So I was like, oh, I guess I'll just stay here. I already have myself situated, and there's no real nowhere else for me to go really. So okay.
Yeah.
My other option was North Carolina, but I wasn't gonna go.
Cold.
Oh no, it's not cold in North Carolina. It's just
It's not?
North Carolina. Are you thinking of North Dakota?
Also, I hear north. North for me means cold. So.
Oh no. It's kind of it's actually warmer than Maryland in North Carolina. But the reason I didn't want to go to North Carolina was I think because their minimum wage was the same as Texas, and I was just like, well, why bother? There's not going to be anything special there. The only reason I was considering it was because that's where my husband wanted to go when he retired from the Air Force.
Okay.
But there was no reason for me to want to go there because he wanted to go there because he had a friend that lived there that he made in the Air Force. He made it, but this guy left the Air Force because he couldn't stay any longer. But they were best buds, and he wanted to retire with him in North Carolina. But I'm not friends with the guy really.
Right.
There's no reason for me to go to trace my husband's dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
So
think, like most people would have said, when you love someone, you want them to be happy to go after what they want, not for them to follow your dreams. So.
yeah. I'm just keeping my promises and making sure that because I'm involved with a criminal case because of this.
Oofda.
So
Wow.
because the guy who hit my husband didn't have a driver's license.
Oh no.
Ah.
So there's a lot of complications. So I have to wait for the DA to get back to me because they take about 2 to 3 years in these type of situations to get to that court case.
Oh wow.
Yay.
Yeah. So that's the other reason I'm staying because I want to be part of that.
Well, yeah. Yeah. To
But
stay safe and stay strong. That's all I'm gonna say.
yeah, that's all I can do, and that's what I've been. It's been 9 months, and I'm doing pretty good for myself, I think.
Mm.
And just gotta keep pushing on, and we're almost done. I had two civil cases that are almost finished up too.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that when you lose somebody in a car accident, there's a lot of stuff that goes into that besides just emotionally.
Yeah.
For sure. Yikes.
But we're
Oof.
almost to the tail end of some of it, and yeah, I'm moving forward.
Yeah.
That's
That's
good.
good. If it's okay to say that, proud of you.
Huh?
You've been
Oh.
strong.
Thank you. I think the only reason I'm able to handle this type of stuff is just because I was kind of used to the concept of death from early on because I lost so many family members as a kid just because they were just much older. Like
Ah.
my grandmother, or sorry, my great grandmother, she died when I was 19, but my great grandfather he died when I was 10. And they didn't,
Oh
my
wow.
family didn't like hide that stuff from me because they didn't want to shelter me. So I think that's
Right.
the reason I have a better mentality with this type of grieving. It's just
Mhm.
because I've already had to face this stuff over and over again. And I'm like, yeah, this is a part of life. Unfortunately, things like this happen. As much as I wished my husband didn't die when he was only 31, I I
Yeah.
can't change that
Yeah.
because
Right.
I I'm the youngest widow I know
Oh.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
because I was 29 when that happened.
Sure.
So I've never known. I mean, I know there are widows that are younger than me, but I've never met anyone younger than me that was widowed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We have a question actually. Question for Fleece. Do you like the Yellow Submarine song? I think that's Beatles.
That is the Beatles.
It is
Yeah.
the Beatles. Yeah, I mean, I do like the Yellow Submarine song. My dad was a big Beatles fan, and my sister's a big Beatles fan, so listened to a lot of Beatles growing up, I guess.
Yeah,
So yes, overall, I do like the Yellow Submarine song.
I don't think I've ever actually listened to the entire song. That's
So-
the thing. Like, I know the chorus of it, but I don't know if I've ever actually heard the entire song because, people quote it and stuff.
Yeah,
But
it's basically just the chorus over and over again.
and my parents will talk about it from time to time. But yeah, I don't think I've ever actually sat down and watched the whole music video and.
Yeah, I've
and
not
listened
watched
to
the
it.
video, or I think there's also a movie called Yellow Submarine where they're like cartoons. I don't think I've seen that, but I know it exists.
Yeah. I don't know much about it. I don't know why. My parents didn't tell me much about Beatles, and I know they are fans. But yeah.
I did go see Paul McCartney when he did a tour around the country. Gosh, was it 5 or 6 years ago? I don't know, something like that. And that was really neat to see because like he played a bunch of like his music, obviously, but he also did a lot of Beatles songs. It was really cool to see.
Like, the only concerts I've ever been to was the one Weird Al one back in 2010.
Oh, that would be fun.
And a Skillet concert, I think, in 2012. So those are the only 2 concerts I've ever been to.
Well, that's more than me. I've been to one.
Which one did you go to?
Well, it's a Norwegian band called DDE. It's what do we? I guess in English it would be a hillbilly band.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's basically my mom and dad's favorite band, so they took me and my brother to see them because, of course, you have to see the best band in the whole world, and they were singing songs like E6, which is basically the longest, biggest road we have in Norway, and it's about a truck driver that's about to drive the whole road in one go because his wife is giving birth to their first child at the end of the road, so he needs to get there, and he has to like be careful on the road because it's like what's it called? A lot of other cars, a lot of like police officers tracking the speed of people. He doesn't have time to eat, but he grabs a coffee and then goes on again, and it's just like, is this supposed to be a romantic song?
Oh no, no! I think those are trucker songs.
Yeah.
Kind of a storytelling sort of aspect to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what truck driver songs are. My dad is also a truck driver. Just
Ah.
you know.
Cool.
So I know a lot about truck driver lingo, and like a chicken coop in truck driver lingo, by the way, is the weighing stations on the side of the road.
Ah.
But they just call them chicken coops because you get stuck in there all the time.
Aww.
Yeah.
Adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, they have their own little lingo. It's kind of fun. And if you listen to enough truck driver songs, you'll be like, "What are they talking about?"
It's just like, what?
Because they have like
Really?
they'll say Smokies and stuff, and you're like, "Oh, what? I don't know what that is." But they also have was it Flagtown? There's just different names for different cities.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
so-
really.
Hmm?
Sorry, it's quite late for me. So it's
Goodness.
more what they associate with the town instead of the name of the town.
Well, yeah, I believe Flagstown is just Flagstaff.
Oh, yeah, that would
okay.
make sense.
And trying to remember some other town names but it's been a little bit since I've heard my dad say any of them.
You know
Oh,
what?
gosh.
Next time you come on one of these chillin' chats, how about you take a little talk with your dad? Like, can you tell me about all the nicknames and stuff for things so I can explain them to people?
Yeah, like I
Get
can't
all the
remember which one
details.
was the Quaker town. I try to remember what they were, and it's been so long since we've actually had a discussion because I've been on the truck for a full week and I hated it. But
Yeah.
it's because you have no freedom. You're stuck in a cage. So to my dad, the truck is freedom, but to me, it's a trap.
Stuck in a little room all the time. Ah!
Yeah, and you can't use the restroom when you want to.
No.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And if you do want to use the restroom when you want to, it is a coffee can.
Oh
Okay,
no.
that works for boys, not necessarily for girls.
No, coffee cans are big.
Oh, okay. So it can work, but it's very uncomfortable.
It's not. Yeah, it's not something you. So I refuse to use the coffee can.
Yeah.
Good.
Smart choice. Smart choice.
But I was only fortunately had to stay there for 1 week and not the entire time. The entire month. Usually my dad would make my brother stay for a full month on the road in the summer.
Oh, wow.
So I got out of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to go for a full month.
Thank God I was born a girl.
Your only companion is your dad and possibly the Game Boy if you brought a Game Boy.
Ooh, Game Boy. Oh, Game Boy. Oh, that's memories. Oh my gosh. Did you guys play blue and red or green maybe?
We had yellow for the Game Boy Color.
Ah, okay. What about you, Fleece?
I didn't have any video games until college, so no.
Oh, poor baby.
Very sad. I played like some like Harry Potter PC game growing up, but we never got Game Boy or like Xbox or anything like that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss.
It turned out all right. I think I'll manage.
With my family, we had to, if we wanted something, we had to earn it. We had to buy it ourselves.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when it came to like any type of video game stuff, we literally had to earn money to buy those.
Nice,
we weren't. Otherwise, we would not have had them at all. But, though I think a few things we did get donated to us, like we got a PlayStation, just a regular PlayStation donated to us by our uncle because he bought a PlayStation 2. He's like, here, have this.
Oh, nice.
It's just here you
that's
go.
like the most we've ever got.
Yeah. Question, Fleece. Do you play art? Yeah, play art. Play art or do games on Twitch?
I don't. I sew most of my stuff by hand while watching TV, so I don't think that would be very interesting to watch on a Twitch stream because it would take forever and it would have lots of Grey's Anatomy in the background.
Yeah, I might get in trouble for that one.
Yeah. And I don't know, I play some like League of Legends now with my husband, is pretty much the video game I play the most, but I don't know if I'm confident enough to do it on a stream.
Okay. I also see that we have hit 1 a.m. mark, which is usually when I stop the stream.
Woo!
Yeah, normally I would stream for 2 hours, but because of the delay stuff, we started a bit early. If I hadn't been this tired, I would have continued, but is it okay that we cut the stream short for you guys? And
Yeah, that's fine.
yeah, and if you're up for it, you can join another time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm sorry.
Oh no, we understand.
No problem. Yeah. Things come up.
Yeah. Anything you guys want to say to the audience?
Goodness.
Or goodbye? Say your goodbyes before
I
we rate some poor soul.
I would just say that you just try to keep, even when things are bleak, you just gotta keep hoping for a better tomorrow and keep doing your best.
Yeah.
That's all I could really say as a party message.
That's nice. Please?
Yeah, I guess I just keep doing things that make you happy, even in small ways. They can go a long way, even if it's just something small. So.
So, before we rate somebody, do you guys have anything that we can use for a hashtag while we attack the stream that we will raid? If you guys know what raid is on Twitch.
Oh, I know what it is. I used to do this.
I have no idea. What is it?
It's when you...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, you can go.
How do you do it?
Gonna try to explain it in best my vocabulary let me. Basically, when you raid somebody, it's you click on a button on your stream administration, and you choose someone who is live right now and playing a game or doing something, and you take your watchers that are currently watching your stream, and you jump over to that person who is streaming, so they get more viewers and like, hey, hello, and boom, more viewers, hello. It's a nice thing
fun.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if the person who is doing the raid is a Twitch affiliate or partner, people who join the raid get more like channel points, so they can like get emojis or stuff like that. I haven't activated that yet, so you sadly don't get that with me yet. But yeah, plushies, plushies. Just gonna be hashtag plushies. Let's see.
Plush love, but okay.
Yeah, plush love. That works a lot better.
I thought it was adorable.
Plush
Cute.
love. There you go. Plush love. So copy.
I was trying to
Rachel.
think of a good hashtag. That's why I get quiet because I know I tend to accidentally overtalk on people and I don't try to.
I have the same trouble. No, don't worry. Let's see.
And so,
No. You first.
see, I always do that.
It's okay.
I don't want to talk over people.
Nobody wants to talk over people. It happens on accidents. Unless you're a rude person.
I'm not rude. I hope not. I hope
No.
I'm not rude.
You're not rude.
I
You're
like to think,
sorry. See, now I'm doing it. Okay.
It's because I leave a pause in my speech.
Yeah, me too. So, my friend slash boss, Fiora, the tank girl, is actually streaming. So I think we're gonna. Fleece doesn't have a Twitch, just so you know.
Not.
No.
I do have a Twitch, but I don't. I just use it for watching streams. I haven't streamed anything in like 2 years.
Yeah, so that's fair. So
I am affiliated.
Cool.
yeah. So if you ever find out that you want to start your stream, what is your stream called?
Mine? I think it's just Kiashone.
Okay, easy peasy.
Yeah, it's literally Kiashone's channel. So it's just so you just type Kiashone on the instead of after the .tv.
Easy peasy. So 3, 2, 1, growl. Is this working? I don't know. I haven't done it before.
I think so. I don't know.
Wait, did it?
What?
I don't know. Ah,
What's
what? I don't know. Did it work?
What's the question?
Did my raid work, or did I click the wrong button?
I think it's working because I watched it switch over.
Okay,
I'm
so
pretty sure
did
it's
switch.
working.
Okay, so what? Okay, so the hashtag plushy love. Okay.